The year was 2013. It was a time of relative peace and tranquility in the remote Himalayan valleys. In the high valleys of Kedarnath, life moved gently, following the rhythm of the seasons and the ancient traditions of the land, until June 16th, when everything changed irrevocably. The serene landscape, a haven for pilgrims and locals alike, was about to face its greatest challenge. That night, the monsoon unleashed not just rain, but a torrent of unprecedented fury. The skies darkened ominously, and the first drops began to fall, a prelude to the chaos that was about to unfold. It wasn't merely a heavy downpour, it was a catastrophic cloudburst, an event of unimaginable intensity. The sky ruptured, unleashing its watery burden with terrifying force. It was as if the heavens themselves were collapsing. A deluge of water, mixed with ice and debris, surged down the mountainsides, sending a wall of water and ice crashing down the mountains. The roar was deafening, a symphony of destruction. Rivers swelled instantly, transforming into raging torrents that overflowed their banks. The normally placid waterways became instruments of devastation. The relentless force of the water tore away roads, bridges, and homes, leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. Infrastructure crumbled, and entire settlements were washed away. Thousands lost their lives in minutes. Families were torn apart and communities were shattered. The scale of the tragedy was immense. The land was forever changed, scarred by the fury of the flood. The landscape bore witness to the immense power of nature's wrath. This was not just a storm, it was nature's raw power, concentrated and devastating, a stark reminder of our vulnerability in the face of such forces. A cloudburst, a sudden extreme downpour over a tiny area, an event that can unleash more water than the land can possibly absorb. It was like dumping an entire lake's worth of water in less than an hour, an unimaginable volume concentrated in a single devastating burst. Understanding these events, their causes and potential impacts, is vital for those living in the shadow of mountains, where the beauty of nature is often intertwined with its inherent dangers. Footage from that night shows rivers of mud and boulders where streets once were, a testament to the sheer force of the water and the debris it carried. The force of water, gravity, and terrain collided in a violent display, creating a destructive synergy that overwhelmed everything in its path. This is the face of a cloudburst, a phenomenon that demands respect and understanding. It is sudden, overwhelming, and unforgettable, a reminder of the power that nature holds. Nature's lesson in humility, delivered by the clouds themselves, a humbling experience that underscores the importance of preparedness and resilience. So, what exactly is a cloudburst? It's a sudden, extremely heavy downpour over 100 millimeters of rain in an hour, focused on just a few square kilometers. Imagine a waterfall pouring over an entire valley at once. Millions of tons of water fall in minutes, not hours. The term cloudburst captures the explosive, violent nature of the event. Survivors describe the rain as so dense it's hard to breathe, the noise, a deafening roar. Unlike cyclones or hurricanes, cloudbursts are intensely local and brief, sometimes lasting less than an hour. Neighboring valleys may stay dry while one is devastated. The ground and drainage systems have no time to cope. The result: flash floods and destruction on a shocking scale. 1 hour can change everything. Cloudbursts need a perfect storm of conditions. First, abundant moisture common during monsoon seasons when warm, wet air moves inland. Second, a trigger mountains force this air to rise rapidly, cooling and condensing it. This orographic lift is key, especially in steep terrain. Third, atmospheric instability where temperature drops quickly with altitude, fueling explosive cloud growth. Finally, weak upper winds can anchor a storm over one spot, letting it dump all its water in one place. When these factors combine, a cloudburst can strike with little warning. It's why mountain regions are especially vulnerable. The recipe: moisture, rapid uplift, instability, and stationary clouds. The result: a deadly localized deluge. The process begins with the sun, our star, relentlessly heating the earth. Solar radiation pours down, warming the ground and setting the stage for a powerful weather event. This initial heating is a crucial first step. As the Earth's surface heats up, it causes water to evaporate from lakes, rivers, and even the soil. This evaporated water rises into the atmosphere as moist air, carrying with it the energy absorbed from the sun. During monsoon season, this moisture-laden air, heavy with the promise of rain, is driven by prevailing winds towards mountain ranges. These mountains act as a natural barrier, an obstacle in the path of the moving air mass. As the air mass encounters the mountains, it has nowhere to go but up. It is forced upward along the mountain slopes in a process known as orographic lifting, cooling rapidly as it ascends to higher altitudes. This upward movement creates powerful updrafts. As the moist air rises and cools, the water vapor within it begins to condense. Tiny water droplets form around microscopic particles in the air, gradually coalescing into clouds. These clouds are the visible manifestation of the atmospheric changes taking place. Under the right conditions, these clouds can develop into towering cumulonimbus giants, the kind of massive storm clouds that are capable of unleashing tremendous amounts of rain. They loom large in the sky, a visible warning of the potential for extreme weather. Inside these storm clouds, powerful updrafts act like elevators, constantly lifting water droplets and even hailstones high into the atmosphere, preventing them from falling. This allows them to grow larger and larger as they collide with other droplets. The longer these water droplets and hailstones remain suspended in the updrafts, the more they grow, becoming increasingly heavy and saturated with water. The cloud, now swollen with moisture, transforms into a massive reservoir, a vast holding tank suspended in the sky. This reservoir holds millions of tons of water, a staggering amount of potential energy waiting to be released. The cloud is now primed and ready to unleash its watery burden. But this delicate balance cannot last forever. When the updrafts weaken, unable to support the immense weight, or when the load of water simply becomes too heavy for the cloud to bear, the situation becomes unstable. The suspension fails catastrophically. The forces that were holding the water aloft can no longer do so. Suddenly, all that accumulated water and ice, the entire contents of the cloud, plummets to Earth with incredible force. It descends in a violent downdraft, a concentrated column of air and water rushing towards the ground. This is the burst, the cloudburst. It's a concentrated torrent of water, a deluge of biblical proportions, slamming into the land below with devastating impact. The impact is immediate. The ground cannot absorb the sheer volume of water. Flash floods erupt, surging through valleys and overwhelming everything in their path. Debris flows, a chaotic mixture of mud, rocks, and vegetation are triggered, scouring the landscape. And widespread devastation. Homes are destroyed, infrastructure crumbles, and lives are tragically lost. The entire process, from start to finish, is a testament to the raw power of nature. From invisible vapor gently rising to a full-blown disaster, unfolds with terrifying speed. Can unfold in less than an hour, sometimes even in a matter of minutes. It's a dramatic, high-speed chain reaction, a cascade of atmospheric events culminating in a catastrophic release of energy. The result? The final outcome of this rapid sequence. A sudden, overwhelming deluge that leaves a lasting scar on the landscape and the lives of those affected. The most immediate danger from a cloudburst is flash flooding. Water overwhelms the land, racing downhill with unstoppable force. Streams become raging torrents in minutes, carrying mud, rocks, and debris. These debris flows act like liquid concrete, demolishing everything in their path. Buildings, roads, and bridges are swept away. Entire villages can be buried. Infrastructure collapses, isolating communities and delaying rescue. The landscape itself is reshaped. Rivers change course, valleys fill with rubble. Farmland is destroyed, and livelihoods vanish. Survivors face not just physical loss, but deep psychological trauma. Understanding this power is the first step to surviving it. In cloudburst-prone regions where the landscape is sculpted by steep slopes and unpredictable weather patterns, awareness and preparation aren't just helpful, they save lives. Being proactive and informed can significantly reduce the risks associated with these sudden and intense weather events. Know your local risks. Understand the specific dangers your area faces. Steep valleys, with their funneling effect on water flow, riverbanks, which are susceptible to overflowing and erosion, and landslide zones, characterized by unstable slopes and loose soil, are most vulnerable to the devastating impacts of cloudbursts. During monsoon season or periods of heavy rain, when the ground is already saturated, monitor weather alerts closely. Stay informed about potential cloudbursts and flash flood warnings issued by local authorities. Have an evacuation plan ready, discussed, and practiced with your family before storms hit. Knowing where to go and how to get there can save precious minutes in an emergency. Watch for sudden darkening skies, a telltale sign of an impending downpour, and towering clouds. These massive formations can unleash torrential rain in a short period. Listen for unusual roaring sounds, a sign that a surge of water is rapidly approaching, signs of flash floods. These sounds often precede the arrival of floodwaters, giving you a crucial warning. If you hear a distant rumble or notice any of these warning signs, don't wait. Move to higher ground immediately. Time is of the essence when a cloudburst occurs. Never try to cross floodwaters. The force of the current is deceptive. Even shallow, fast-moving water is deadly. It can sweep you off your feet in an instant. In buildings, head to upper floors. Seek refuge above the potential flood level. Outdoors, climb to the highest safe point available, away from the path of the water. Long-term, communities must plan. Proactive measures are essential for mitigating the impact of future cloudbursts. Avoid building in high-risk zones where the danger of flooding and landslides is greatest. Reinforce slopes with engineering solutions to prevent landslides, and plant vegetation to stabilize soil, reducing erosion and runoff. Early warning systems and practiced evacuation drills are crucial for ensuring a swift and coordinated response. When the sky turns dark and the storm clouds gather, a clear plan, combined with calm action, is your best defense against the fury of a cloudburst. Preparation turns panic into survival, empowering you to face these challenges with resilience and strength. Predicting cloudbursts remains a major challenge. They're small, fast, and fierce. New technology is changing the game. Doppler radar detects storm movement and intensity in real time. High-resolution satellites track moisture and storm development with unprecedented detail. Advanced computer models now simulate how terrain and atmosphere interact to trigger cloudbursts. Combining radar, satellite, and modeling helps forecasters issue rapid, localized warnings, sometimes minutes before disaster strikes. As the climate warms, extreme rainfall events may become more common, making this research vital. Cloudbursts remind us of nature's power and unpredictability. They're not acts of malice, but physics and geography in action. By listening to the clouds, we can learn to live more safely in a changing world. Science, vigilance, and respect for nature are our best defenses.